Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video where I will be ranting about Massachusetts because there is no denying it. Massachusetts is a total mess, and this mess is the Massachusetts State Police and DA Morrisy. It seems like the Bay State, the home of the Boston Red Sox, has turned into, hey, can we see if we can make Departed? But instead of making Jack Nicholson the bad guy, we all want to be like him. No Matt Damon, just all the bad guys. And if Matt Damon, let's call him Aiden Turtleboy, shows up, tries to shake the cage and get rid of the corruption, we go after him and try to hurt him. You might have seen that a new article released yesterday from Boston 10 talks about how Meatball Morrissey himself, the guy who was hell bent on prosecuting Karen Reed and who it seems has some kind of personal vendetta against Aiden and keep this ludicrous case about witness intimidation going just to get to a man who stood up to the system. This man is now being blasted for using his personal iCloud for official business. Over 4,000 pages of emails have been released via FOIA request. And what it actually shows is him being a petty, little insecure DA. He's whining about leaks, he's sharing case news, he's trying to get some sympathy for his staff, and he's begging money so he can run these cases. But why is he using a personal email? He's a DA. He knows the rules about public access to his work products. He does know that all of his personal emails are subject to FOIA request. So by putting it on his personal iCloud, is it to try and hide it from the public? A public that's more and more and more unwilling to just go along to get along. It seems to me that that must be the case, that he was trying to hide facts. And if a DA is trying to hide all of this, you have to ask your question, why? And luckily, it got released. Apparently, they weren't really willing to do it, but finally it got out there. And you have Morrissey, you have Michael Proctor, who just was going to court to try and get his job back. And how did he argue that he should have his job back? Well, I need access to 260 other cases of shitty cops who didn't get fired for doing bad stuff. I could accept that one or two slipped through the cracks. But if he believes that they need access to so many cases because nothing happened to any one of them, and it was only because Proctor was on the Karen Reed case, then I'm thinking, how rotten is your system? You have a DA trying to hide his work products. You apparently have troopers who are so bad that Michael Proctor, who is a disgrace to the uniform he once wore, claims that what he did was nothing different like what other peoples have done. Isn't that discouraging if you live in Massachusetts? And it's going to be interesting how much more can come out now. Alan Jackson has joined Karen Reed for the civil suit. We know he knows where some of the skeletons are buried. So it's going to be very interesting to follow Morrissey and his attempts to hide stuff in the future. It's entertaining. It's good grifting. I have to say that. But for the state of Massachusetts, this is CSI incompetence. This isn't CSI Miami or whatever, where they'll pull off the sunglasses and fix the crime. No, this is a clear indication that Massachusetts State Police case is horrendous. We have had Karen Reed case. We had the Sandra Birchmore case. We had the Garcia case. And they just keeps rolling in constantly. Every time you just find one case, you find all the same players, and they are connected to more and more and more and more bad stuff. It seems like a bad horror movie. It's not even a B movie. But instead of having Jason chasing the young kids, these are police officers wearing a badge and misusing the power the people have granted them. We need a factory reset on the Massachusetts State Police. But this isn't the only problem. Yesterday, the story also dropped about Suffolk County Sheriff Stephen Tompkins, who is indicted for alleged extortion. He's been a sheriff since 2013 and was overseeing the jails in Boston. But according to the DOJ, he apparently pressured a cannabis company exec to sell him some cheap IPO stocks. IPOs is when you're ready to go to the stock market. You have these IPOs that you'll sell before you hit the market. And apparently he was hinting that, hey, if you don't sell me this stuff cheap, I'm going to sink your company. He then wires $50,000 from his retirement fund into the company, buys into the IPO, boom, the stocks flop, and apparently the company refunds him anyway and labels the checks as loans to hide it. It sounds more like they were pressured to pay him back, because had he made a killing on those stocks, they wouldn't have had loaned him money. But now that it went bad, all of a sudden, oh, here's your money back. Is that extortion under the color of official rights? Apparently, that's what the Fed claims. That's in human terms, that's extortion and trying to shake down a weed business. He got arrested in Florida, and now he gets perhaps to sit in one of the jails that he used to overlook. The next one is sadly an update on another case we have followed in this channel. It's the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case. Remember the young, newly mother who did something at an RO serving at her house. It's hard to tell what's up and down in this story. We only had two versions of it, and because she hired a lawyer we like, we might give her a little more sympathy. But the story is either that she pointed a pew pew at an officer and it went click, or she tried to do it on herself and she got pew pewed in the chest. We don't know, because was there body cam that can be released so we can see it? But she has a postpartum depression. They knew about it because she was on sick leave. She has just been cleared to go back to work. The one who did it was a friend of hers who must have known she wasn't in a good place. But did it have to go there? It's wouldn't there be some form of de-escalation? Did he tell him, go get your pew pew, and he wasn't close enough that she couldn't do anything with it? It just seems a little weird. But she's now arrested in the sickbed. She's pled not guilty to charges of armed assault, but they can put her in prison with no bond when other killers walk free on minimum bonds. Again, it seems the ones we like get a good deal. The ones we don't like, well, there's only hell to pay. And these two things aren't isolated. It keeps reeling from scandal upon scandal in the MA State Police. You had the overtime fraud that Aiden talked about. The cover-ups in the Karen Reed hasn't been proven, but still, it smells like it. And they have been trying to do this. Hey, we're trying to fix everything, but this is kind of like trying to fix the Titanic with duct tape. It's probably not just an easy fix. And it's hard to tell what's wrong with Massachusetts. If the DA is dodging transparency to sheriffs extorting startups, there's so many trouble. And we can talk Karen Reed, Sandra Birchmore, the Tompkins case, Fitzsimmons, Raul Garcia. Every case Proctor has touched, and all of it is directly linked to the Massachusetts State Police. I don't know if there is a reason to be optimistic. I was optimistic when Karen Reed only got an OUI. I'm a little less optimistic because I had thought no matter the outcome, as long as they got some kind of conviction, they would drop the charges against Aiden. It seems like they're going to go hard for him now. But we need more people to come in, see what's wrong in Massachusetts, and demand cleanup. I saw the Young Jerks said, hey, Morrisy will lose the next election. He only has 4% in the polls. Yeah, but that's a year out. And sadly, in America, like Denmark, 85% most likely will vote the same thing they voted at the last election if there isn't something fresh in their mind to get them angry and go to the poll. So we need to keep the pressure to prove Massachusetts needs brooms to clean up this office. It's not enough we get someone else in who will just say, well, yeah, it doesn't look good, but I'll fix something. No, you need to start firing people, and you need to fumigate the entire DA's office. People like Adam Lally shouldn't be working there. McLaughlin shouldn't be working there. Everything needs to get cleaned up because Massachusetts is a mess.